Hey champions, welcome back to the channel. This is Izu back again with another helpful video for your financial wellness. In this video, we're gonna be talking about the 10 tried and tested jobs, 10 proven jobs that will get you through a recession, or jobs that will last through a pandemic and a deep recession. You may be asking yourself right now, are there any jobs out there that are 100% recession proof? The short answer is no. There is no job that's 100% recession proof, but these jobs that I'm about to share with you right now do way better during a recession. In fact, during the Great Recession of 2009, these jobs fared way better than the other jobs, and the sectors which these jobs are located tend to have lower unemployment numbers. So pay attention and be sure to watch to the end if you are looking to gain some insight on the jobs that are more secure or very safe during recession periods. But before we dive in, if this is your first time stopping by this channel, welcome. Consider subscribing now to avoid missing out on the latest helpful videos for your financial success. And drop a like on this video to help other people find this video quicker. To be clear, I have ranked these jobs based on the risk level, the stress level, the pay, and the barriers to entry or the training required to get into these jobs. So let's get started. Number 10, firefighter. So being a firefighter, you don't have to go through a typical or traditional 4-year college, and you don't have to rack up a whole lot of student loans in order to become a firefighter. But you still have to go through the fire academy, and there are a series of intense trainings that you have to pass in order to become a firefighter. The one thing about the firefighter is they do respond to emergency situations, so they are placed in a high stress and high risk environment most times. So you have to be comfortable with being placed in a high stress and high risk environment at all times during this job. Traditionally, firefighters do work 40 hours a week, but most times they do so in 24-hour long shifts because they do have to respond to these emergencies as they come up. So what about the pay? According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median hourly wage for a firefighter is $23.45 in 2020. Number 9, lineman or line installer. This is a very dangerous job, and what do they do? A lineman typically connects high voltage transmission lines or distribution lines. So whenever you look out the window and you see the power lines from the electric poles coming into your home and feeding you power, this is the job of a lineman. So a lineman is responsible for installing the lines that bring power to your home or repairing those power lines. The thing about this job is it is in a very high risk environment, and it is also a very high stress environment, and you have to maintain very high level of safety at all times to avoid getting hurt. So this job actually does really well because you don't have to get a 4-year college degree, but you still get paid pretty well compared to the average jobs out there that need a 4-year college degree. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2020, the median hourly wage of a lineman is $31.67 per hour. So this is a very good position if you were looking for a job that doesn't require you to rack up more student loans or any student loans in the first place. In order to do this job, you have to be comfortable with working in very dangerous and very high altitude environments. So you do have to be comfortable with climbing up the poles or being way up in the air, fixing electric lines or installing electric and communication lines. Number 8 is a police officer. So law enforcement. This is not the easiest of the jobs out there. This job, you do have to go through a high stress environment and also a high risk environment. So being a police officer is a no easy job, especially being a good cop. So it's not easy to be a good police officer if you are abiding by the rules and respecting the people that you protect. As a police officer, your job is to protect your community, and while this job is very demanding physically and mentally and can be very stressful sometimes, it still does pretty well during a recession because the demand for police officers never goes down during a recession or during a pandemic. In fact, it is projected according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics to keep growing. And according to the Department of Labor, the median hourly wage for a police officer is $30.47 an hour. Number seven is one that's not very desirable. I mean, this may be the least desirable, but the reason why it made the cut and it is not the lowest is it has lower risk compared to the other ones I've mentioned. It's still in a high stress environment, right? And this one also does well during the recession, because even during the pandemic, this job has tended to actually last and proven to have lower unemployment rates. So number 7 is funeral service worker. So as a funeral service worker, you do tend to work long hours, and the long hours that you work actually translate to maybe higher stress that you may be facing. But as a funeral service worker, you are at least job secure most of the time. During most seasons, you do have job security, and this job does not require you to have a traditional 4-year college degree or rack up some debt in order to get into this position. According to the Department of Labor Statistics, the median hourly pay for a funeral service worker is $27.68 an hour. Number 6 is child care worker or daycare worker. As a child care worker, you do not work in a very highly specialized environment. All you are doing is pretty much dealing with kids and helping take care of kids. So if you love working with kids, you are going to do very well in this job. And the great thing about this job is during all the seasons, during recessions, during the pandemics, we've seen this job actually have a high demand, and people always have a need for their kids to be watched. People want their kids to be taken care of in a safe and clean environment. And if you can provide those services, you will never be out of work during a recession, because most childcare workers, even during this pandemic, tend to keep their jobs. However, the wages or the pay for this job tends to be low. According to the Department of Labor Statistics, the median hourly pay for child care workers is $11.17 as of today. But the thing here is you are working in a low stress environment, low to medium stress environment, depending on the kids that you're dealing with. And also you are working in a low risk environment, so you are not exposed to the dangers that other positions or other jobs that I've mentioned previously are facing. Number 5, home health aide. So what do you do as a home health aide? As a home health aide, you are assisting people or taking care of people with physical disabilities or people who do have some cognitive impairments like dementia, or people who are going through some certain aging related health issues. And your job is to help them maintain a higher quality of life and a better lifestyle. The demand for this job is expected to grow as we do have the baby boomers retiring. As these baby boomers retire, they are expected to be needing more help during their older age. So if you are looking for a job that will last through the recession or through a pandemic, you need to take a look at the home health aide position. As a home health aide, you are basically working under a medium stress environment, and your risk level is pretty low to medium. So you don't have a high risk level, but the pay for this job is not as glamorous as the other ones that we've mentioned previously. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median hourly wage for a home health aide is $11.57, but there is so much growth, so much forecasted growth for this position. Number 4 is one of the fastest growing fields in the medical or healthcare industry, and that is medical assistant. As a medical assistant, you are not required to go through a traditional 4-year college and rack up so much loans, but you do need to go through some trainings or some certifications to become a medical assistant. In this job, you are lucky enough to be working under a low-risk environment, because all you're doing is helping doctors and clinical professionals like nurses take care of some of the clinical works or the paperwork that they do not want to do. So as a medical assistant, you are pretty much following doctors, but you are not necessarily exposed to what they are exposed to 100% of the time. And according to the Department of Labor Statistics, in 2020, the median hourly pay for this job is $16.16. Number 3, HVAC technician. As an HVAC technician, you are responsible for heating and cooling of homes. During a recession, during a pandemic, people still need their homes to be heated. People still want to be comfortable in their homes. They want to turn on their heat and make sure that it works. They want to turn on the air conditioner and make sure that it's working. So your job is to provide those services to homes around the country. So it doesn't matter if there's a recession if there's a pandemic, people still need this service in order to maintain a healthy and comfortable lifestyle. So what is required to get this job? You do not require a 4-year traditional degree where you rack up a whole lot of loans or you spend all those 4 years trying to get a degree. What you do need instead is a certified training. So you do need series of training or classes or apprenticeship in order to become an HVAC technician. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median hourly pay for an HVAC technician as of today is $22.89 an hour. Number two. So number two is an IT support specialist. Right now, there's so much demand for IT and computer support specialists, especially these days where we're seeing a lot of tech, a lot of data, a lot of people working from home. So if you are an IT support specialist, you are basically in a high demand area, and it doesn't matter if we are in a recession or in a pandemic, you are still going to have your job. So the job security for this job is very, very high. This is one of the safest jobs out there, and in this job, you are working in a low stress environment and also working in a low risk environment. That's the reason why this is number two. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median hourly pay for an IT support specialist is $25.70 an hour. Also, you don't need to go through a traditional 4-year college in order to get a position as an IT support specialist. While you are not required to have a traditional 4-year college degree, you do need to have some certifications. This job thrives on certifications. So the level and number of certifications you have will determine the type of job you land in this industry. Finally, number one. So number one is information security analyst. So what do you do as an information security analyst? Your job as an information security analyst is to basically go in and make sure the systems are protected. Your job is to make sure the network is protected. So you are pretty much like a police officer in the cyber world. Your job is to prevent data breaches and protect your company or your network from getting hacked. Just like the IT support specialist position, this job does not always require a 4-year college degree, but you do need to have high levels of certifications or some certifications to get into this position. You do have to have some security certifications from Cisco or other reputable companies out there. As an information security analyst, you are working in a low stress environment and a low risk environment. Even though your job could be demanding at times, it is not as demanding or as dangerous as the other positions that we've mentioned here. And you do get compensated very well for this position. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the median hourly pay for an information security analyst position is $47.28 an hour. Alright, so now that you found out the 10 jobs that are tried and tested during a recession and that will last through a pandemic, if you have any questions or you have any comments, be sure to leave them in the comment section below. And don't forget to share this video with other people to help make a difference in their lives and empower them as they try to figure out their next career moves. And if you've gained some insight from this video, as usual, drop a like on this video and don't forget to subscribe now to avoid missing out on the next future videos for your financial wellness. Thank you for watching and keep winning.